I want to show you the homepage of Huffington Post from yesterday. Everybody that listens to the show knows that I personally despise Trump. I can't stand him. But this is a unique way to go after him that I think is a horrible idea. So, look at that headline. Koch, meaning one of the Koch brothers, shuns Trump. He's taking the country in the wrong direction. And then it goes on to say, the subheadline here, conservative billionaire says he's unlikely to back a Trump campaign. Republicans in rebellion finally realize they're nominating a racist. Potential donors worry about their names being tied to the campaign. Trump, on defensive, continues to insist he's being treated unfairly. Convention coup floated. Hewitt warns, meaning Hugh Hewitt, dump Trump or else. Thinkers from across the political spectrum weigh in on the dangers of Trump. Okay. There are roughly 14 quadrillion arguments to use against Donald Trump that are accurate arguments, that are fair arguments, that should make one say, never Trump. You managed to pick one of the few arguments that, if anything, can make many people say, no, I'm for Trump. You're going to use the fact that a douchebag conservative billionaire doesn't like Trump to argue against Trump? If there's one person on this planet I dislike more than Donald Trump, it's the Koch brothers. Or that'd be multiple people, not one person. But it would be them. No, Donald Trump looks like fucking Noam Chomsky in comparison to the Koch brothers. They are the 100% the problem in our democracy. They've bought and owned the Republican Party. So when you say, oh, the Koch brothers don't like Trump, you know what I hear? They're not sure they can buy him. Now, again, I honestly don't think they have to worry because I think they misanalyzed the circumstance and they can buy him. But the fact that they're hesitant to do so doesn't make me dislike Trump more. It makes me like Trump more. So why on earth would you make it seem like you're default aligning with the Koch brothers? Like, see, even Charles Koch is against Donald Trump. I almost, by definition, want to be on the opposite team of Charles Koch because there's always something more sinister and nefarious going on when you're talking about the Koch brothers, okay? That's point number one. Point number two, when you go as low as to quote Hugh Hewitt in a subheadline to make it seem like, ooh, this is a movement gaining steam, you just proved the opposite point. You just proved you're doing full outrage. Guys, Hugh Hewitt, most of you are probably like, who the flying fuckity fucksacks is Hugh Hewitt? Hugh Hewitt is a conservative radio host that has roughly negative 23 listeners. I'm not sure his family even knows that he's a conservative radio host. I mean, the guy is profoundly uninteresting, and he doesn't have a fan base. He's a joke. He's a clown. He's not a serious player in any way. They're quoting him like, dump Trump or else. Or else what, slapstick? Or else what? He got the nomination. You have negative 3 fans on a radio show nobody fucking listens to. So, or else what? There is no or else. There is no or else. This reminds me of every single step of the way. And everybody's like, that's it. Trump's done, Trump's done, Trump's done. When he had the meltdown in the debate. Actually, I retract that. When everybody said he had a meltdown in the debate, and then you look at the polls afterwards, he won in crushing victories. Crushing victories. Remember the debate where he was screaming about how the towers came down under George W. Bush so you can't say he kept us safe? Every dumbass pundit on TV was like, that's it! That's it! Finally the downfall of Trump! Finally the downfall of Trump! Every poll came out. He crushed in that debate. So you guys have been wrong every step of the way, and you're doing more of it now. You're using literally the worst arguments against Trump. Your arguments are, Hugh Hewitt doesn't like him. Who gives a fuck if Hugh Hewitt likes him? The Koch brothers might not like him either. Good! I fucking hate those guys! So you're not helping. And then again, look at some of the rest of this stuff. Republicans in rebellion. No, they're not! He just got the nomination. You know who's in rebellion? Establishment Republicans. What is it gonna take for these people to understand establishment Republicans on TV do not equal your average Joe Republican voter? Not a single one of those average Joe Republican voters said, that's it, I'm voting Hillary now, or I'm not voting, after Donald Trump attacked a Hispanic judge for being Hispanic. You know what the response of a lot of people in the country was? I agree. I don't like Hispanic judges either. Now, that sucks, and they're assholes, But that's the reality of the situation, and you're mucking up fake outrage to get to that point. Why, on God's green earth, do you not focus on real policy substance? For fuck's sake, the guy said, I am going to kill civilians in the Middle East. I think the Geneva Conventions is the problem. I don't believe in international law. I'm going to torture people. I'm going to torture even if it doesn't work. That wasn't even a story for a week. No 24-hour coverage. No fucking gigantic headlines. But now look at this. The Koch brothers don't like him. I agree with the Koch brothers. That's a stupid argument. That is a pathetic argument, guys. I'm telling you right now. The more people do these kinds of attacks against Trump, the more popular he's going to become. I'm not even at the point where I say, oh, it's just not going to affect him. I now think he's going to go up in the polls the more they use arguments like this. Because you know what they're doing? They're doing what the right-wingers do. They're just throwing mud and hoping it sticks. I don't know, Koch brothers don't like him. Hugh Hewitt, who the fuck is Hugh Hewitt? He doesn't like him. I don't know. Some dumbass Republicans on TV that nobody likes, like Lindsey Graham, who ran in this election and got literally 3 people to vote for him. Oh, yeah, he doesn't like him. That doesn't mean anything. So and people might watch this, and I even have gotten tweets, oh my God, you're going soft on Trump now. No. I'm giving you my analysis of the situation and what I think is an attack that works against him versus what I think is an attack that doesn't work on him. I'm warning you right now, this does not work. This does not work. So don't do it. And lest any of you still think I'm soft on Trump, no, I'm the guy who made a political ad where I called him Terrorist Don. So I'm the least soft person on Trump. I'm just analyzing the situation and letting everybody know that if you keep using these attacks, you're going to be saying President Trump very soon. So you've been warned, either use the right arguments or we're going to have our own Gaddafi or Erdogan leading the country. They even say here, they finally realize they're nominating a racist. That's the argument you're going to use? Ooh, all along, these Republicans didn't know that Trump was racist when he said, I'm going to deport 11 million undocumented immigrants. When he said, the Mexicans, I assume some are good people, but they're rapists, they're criminals. You don't think you were nominating a bigot when he said, I'm going to ban all Muslims from entering the country? I mean, the most obvious thing. But they go, oh, look, finally, the Republicans realized. Or they knew all along, and that's not why they dislike him. Maybe there's other reasons why they dislike him. Which leads to the most important point. What a weird coincidence that Donald Trump, there's a rebellion in the party against Donald Trump from the establishment, not the voters, the establishment. The day after he gives a speech where he says in no uncertain terms, I'm done with the wars. Hillary Clinton's a hawk. I'm not a hawk. I'm going to do infrastructure spending in our inner cities. I'm going to get out of free trade deals. He laid out liberal priorities. He just laid out liberal priorities. Now, again, I want to be crystal clear. I don't believe him. He just knows to be populist to get elected, and that's what he's doing. But isn't it interesting that the Republican establishment, who are the least populist people in the fucking country, all of a sudden they realize he's racist after his flat-out liberal speech? No, chances are they don't like him because they don't know if the donors can control him. Now, again, I think the donors can control him, but they're scared that they can't, and they're scared he might actually be populist, so now they feign outrage over the racism that they knew was there all along. Guys, you should hate Trump, don't get me wrong. But if there's any group of people you should hate more than Trump, it's the Republican establishment.